Hi, my name is Ian and I run regular card making workshops in Valley Craft in Aberbargoed. Today I'm going to show you the first workshop I ever did, and that was in February of 2011. Right, so what we've got here is an A4 piece of card, and it's white card, and what I need to do now is actually cut this in half, which is 148 millimeters. So I'm going to cut that in half. The one half will be for the actual base card, and the other half is for die cutting one of our shapes out after. Then I have a piece of vellum. The vellum needs to be cut to 120 millimeters by 148 millimeters. And that piece is for the wraparound on our main card. I'm using the 3.5 inch scallop circle die for the glitter, and I'm using the 3 inch scallop die for the white card. So this is the 3.5 inch going on to my glitter. I'm just going to place that on, and my piece actually cuts out like that. So what I'm going to do now is place my card onto the cutting mat and place my die face down with a little ridge for cutting. And I'm just going to take that into any corner so I don't use up all the card. I'm just going to pass that through my big shot again, and that then is my 3 inch scallop circle. And I'm going to take my A5 card, I'm going to place it to the top of my scoreboard, and I'm going to fold that to the half fold A5 marking. And when I'm folding card, I always score it, flip it and score it again, and that breaks the fibres down on each side of the card to make it easier to fold. Then I'm going to take my vellum and I'm going to make sure that I've got it in right, so I'm going to place that in as well, and I'm going to score that at the half fold A5 as well. So that's just scoring the little back end like that. Okay, and I'm just going to place that down there. Right, so now we've done all the scoring, I will put this down and then we'll get onto the stamping part of this card. So now we're at the stamping part of this card. So first of all, you need 2 sheets of scrap paper. This is just scrap paper that I have hanging around. And I'm going to take the one piece and lay it flat on my mat. And then I'm going to take my A5 white scored card. And just so we know where the score is, we're just going to lay that down like that. And then with the other scrap bit of paper, I'm going to fold it in half. Just roughly, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to cover part of the back side of the card, leaving a nice little area where we can overstamp into the back. Okay, so that gives us a nice straight line, and this is where the parchment or vellum will actually fold over as well. So we know the width of our parchment, so we can actually do it roughly to that. Okay, so next thing is stamping. I'm going to be using the heart stamp today for my background, and I'm going to be using that with my Mountain Meadow Big and Juicy. Okay, and I'm going to use various colours throughout the pad as well. So I'm going to open up that, and I'm just going to start picking up different colours. I'm going to start on my light side. I'm going to ink it, blot it and plot it. Ink, blot, plot. So I'm going to do ink, blot, plot, and don't be afraid to actually turn the stamp at different ways as well. So we're just going to place it all the way around your card. Ink, blot, plot, turning the stamp all different ways. And we're just going to do a few of the lighter ones with the blotting, and then I'm going to take off the excess ink on my scrap, and then I'm going to go to a different colour and I'm going to ink, plot with a different colour. And now I'm going to take that one off, and now I'm going into a different colour again, and I'm going to blot and plot. And as I'm stamping, in my head I'm actually saying ink, blot, plot, so that I know that I'm always going to do it. I'm just turning my stamp a little bit. I'm going to turn it completely upside down this time. And it's knowing with the stamping of where to actually stop. I'm just going to do a couple now in sort of the red colours of the Big and Juicy, because I want some to be a little bit more vibrant. So I'm just going to ink this one, and I'm going to blot it straight onto the card. Okay, and I'm going to do it again. I'm just going to try and fill in the odd little areas which I haven't actually been. And I'm going to do one more, and I'm going to call that a day with my stamping on that. And by doing that then, we get a nice little background like that, and it actually folds around the back there. And now I'm going to stamp on the scallop circle in the white card. So that's all I need to do with this one, and this one we're going to be ink, blot, blot and plotting, because we don't want this to be very vibrant, because we are going to be using the sentiment stamp to go on to the centre. Okay, so first of all I'm going to pick the colours I want to go for. I'm going to go blot, blot and plot. I'm going to do that again, ink, blot, blot and plot, and again blot, blot, plot, and then again in a different colour this time, so I'm taking the excess off, blot, blot. I'm going to plot a little bit that side. I'm going to turn my bit around, and I know there's still ink on the stamp, so I'm just going to fill in little areas with the excess there. And when I've done that, and now I'm going to stamp the verse on the front of that as well. And I'm using the dye-based black. There are numerous ink pads out there. I just happen to have this one. So I'm going to ink up my stamp. Make sure it's inked up nicely. So all we won't have to do in this is to ruin it. And I'm just going to centralise that into my scallop circle, put a little bit of pressure and lift up. And that is actually my small sentiment on there. Right, so that is that stamp done. And I'm just going to remove the rest of the ink off of my stamp by doing this, and then I can clean them later with a baby wipe. And that is all the stamping done for this card. Right, now we're going to put the card together. So I've just flipped my scrap bit of paper from last time, and I'm going to flip it over so that it's nice and clean. And I'm now going to take my vellum, place it upside down, and I'm now going to place my ultra clear double-sided tape, which is the red one. It's ultra sticky and ultra clear. I'm just going to place it down the one side to stick it to the front of the card. And I'm going to stick it to the back end where it's going to stick around the back. So I've just placed two strips of glue tape there. Just get my scissors in there. Okay. So there's the two red strips there. One down the back where the fold is, and the other one along the front there. Okay, I'll put that to the side, and I'm going to then take my base card with the stamp in, and when I do this I actually stick it when it's all flat, so that when I actually fold it, the front part then domes a little bit and gives it more of that sort of softness. So first of all, I'm going to take the backing of the Ultra Clear on the front side of the card and place it over the front part of my card here. Making sure that it goes down well, because it is ultra sticky, this tape. Okay, so that's the front part stuck there, and then I'm going to peel the backing off the other piece, place that there, and now I'm going to just let that stick along there, and that gives me my card with the vellum there. And then I'm going to go ahead and actually fold this piece of card here, and as you can see, that actually places a small dome like so, which means it gets smokier in the middle. Okay, and I always use my finger to make this smoother, because if you use a tool then it whitens the vellum or the parchment, and we don't want that. We want to keep its natural sort of colour. Okay, so that is that done, and now we're going to turn that around so it's facing us, so we know it's the right way up and the card is going to open the right way. And we're then going to take our scallop glitter card and we're going to place some foam pads on the back. I'm using 3mm foam pads, and I'm using it off a long reel. You can use your normal square foam pads. I'm using 3mm, but obviously it's up to you for postage. I'm just going to place a few around the back, in a way that it's not too close to the edges. So that's that there, and I'm going to peel the backing off then. And if you're unsure or very unsteady with your hands and you're afraid to put this down directly onto the card, please feel free to use your Pritt stick and place it over the back of the tapes before you actually place it down, and if it's in the wrong place it will allow you to lift it up and put it back down again in the right place. Okay, and I'm just going to place that to the top centre part of my card, as so. And now I'm going to go with my stamped white bit there. And to fit this onto glitter, I need to use a wet glue. I'm using a tacky glue, and I'm just going to place that directly onto the back of the card. And I'm placing quite a thick sort of spread of it, because then this will leak into the glitter and actually stick to the card that the glitter is actually on. I'm just going to place that in the centre of my scallop glitter, which will actually so that's the first class and the first card finished. Please look forward to my other instalments on the other two cards that I did in the February class in 2011.